Welcome to our class. Today I want to revisit a lesson you had done earlier on ZK app, where I want to develop a browser-based app, ZK app, with the NoirJS and the Barretenberg. So that is what you want to revisit, so that it's clear, that we understand it better, this concept. So, of course, I'll approach it from a different perspective from the one we had used earlier, so that it's understood well. So, what is the motivation, or how will, first of all, how will be the flow of today's lesson one? We will walk through, we will have a walkthrough of building a simple application that enables Noah circuit into a web interface. Of course, that is what we have already said we want to do. And then for us to do that, we will follow the following steps. One, we will prepare the environment and the installation that is required. Two, we will write a simple Noah constraint program, and then compile the circuit, exporting it for front-end use, then connecting NoirJS and Barretenberg, the browser, producing and checking proofs in real time. So of course, this we will do it in our browser, just to see how we can produce, generate, and verify proofs. So we'll be seeing that in our browser. So again, as we had already stated, this does not require any knowledge, prior knowledge, maybe in mathematics or in cryptography. It doesn't require any of that knowledge. Now, the advantage we have is that most of these things that we are supposed to create, the environment for our circuit, we've already installed the dependencies, but of course, I'll again mention them for those who've not installed, so that they do install. The majority of us have these things already installed. So why do we require NoirJS, or why does it matter? Okay, NoirJS brings circuits into JavaScript, TypeScript projects. That is one, why we require it. And two, it handles circuit execution, and we'll be seeing that when we do our proof generation, the proof verification, it's required there. So it works directly with the Barretenberg, and of course, this is what we then be using for proof verification and generation. So it works closely with it. Now, the combination of these two, NoirJS and Barretenberg, this combination enables web apps that have native privacy guarantees, and that is what we require, privacy. Of course, we are doing zero knowledge proofs, so that combination enables this. NoirJS is also compatible with the popular front-end tooling, easy adoption in modern workflows. So it's compatible with the popular front-end tooling. That is again why it matters a lot in our project. Now, I'd already mentioned these tools, and I'd said most of us already have them installed. But for those that have not installed them, they require to install nodes.js. And if you click this link, you can always get how to install it. the steps, step by step on how to install NoirJS here. We also need to install Yarn. And again, if you follow this link, you can again find steps on how to install it. Nago CLI is also required to be installed. And again, we have a guide, official Noir guide on how to install it. So these are the things tools that are important in our today's lesson. So those who have not installed, they can proceed and install this. Now, just to ensure that we don't get surprises along the way, you may also want to install this. Although this is not the most current, but I just install this because I've worked with it. And my example is I used it and it worked. So I'm not saying that it cannot work with any other. It can still work with any other, but this is what I've worked with. And therefore I'm comfortable with it, just to prevent surprises. So for you to install it, this again is the command on how to install it, and I'll be showing you again. Of course, you just run it in your terminal. You run it in the terminal, it just installs. Now, so I've already mentioned what we are required to install, and of course, what I've not told you is why they're important, and therefore, that is what I'm now breaking down. Why are they necessary? NoirJS, of course, this one I've already said why it's necessary. But again, just to remind you, it lets you run Noir circuits, generate witnesses, and interact with the proofs. That is what it enables you to do. So it will enable you, if you have it, be in a position to run Noir circuits, be in a position to generate witnesses, and interact with proofs. Without it, then these things will not be possible. BBJS, of course, coming from Barretenberg, and this will be using it for proof generation and verification. We've used it before, so we are very much familiar with it, how to generate proofs and how to verify proofs. Now, they come with the WASM. So when with the WASM, then this tool will work seamlessly in browsers without any problems. I've already talked of the current versions, but of course I've said there's one that we can 0.84 that I've worked with, and if you install it, then I'm comfortable it will give us the results we want. The others will also give us the results, but I've not tried them. Now, so once you install, you can go to your VS Code. No, let's use WSL. If you go to WSL, you can create a new project, make directory P circuit, RSC, touch circuit, main.nr circuit nago. So what this means, that it just creates a project. This project comes with a default main.nr. It also comes with the nago.toml. And of course, the name of the project will be called circuit. That is what is here. So, but this is not the only way you can open this project. We've done this before, and there are several ways of starting a project. So you can use any of them, just the same thing, but ensure that you have the project, a directory, as a circuit. Inside the circuit, you have SRC, and we have a nagotoml. And of course, inside SRC, there'll be main.nr. So just create a project the same way we've been doing. And this time we're going to create a very simple project just to prove that somebody is 18 years or above. And we are not interested with a very hard project. We're interested with knowing how to create a web app. So whether difficult or simple, what we want is just, can we create a web app? So in fact, a simple one is better because we are not going to concentrate on the complexity of the project or the circuit, but we're going to concentrate on the details of creating a web app. That is what we're interested with. So this is just a simple circuit, therefore verifying that somebody is 18 years or above. So then we will go to the web, we'll go to the browser and try to see whether we can insert our years, the years, for instance, 18, 19, 20, and generate proofs so that we see how proofs will be generated and how they'll be verified and so on the browser. That is our aim. So maybe let me just show you then how it looks like. Just open I've already created it from my end. Just create yours from your end. Of course, you just, then after that, you just copy this code and insert. Okay, this is mine. Can you see this is my circuit? And inside you have SRS. Inside SRS, I have my main. And inside my main, I have the circuit we just talked about, this function. To prove that somebody is 18 years and above. And of course, you also have the nagotoml without dependencies. So I say the name of this project of the circuit, and that's what you're seeing here. Now with those, just with the circuit, SRS, main, and nagotoml, you're able to do nago compile, and to do nago compile, you have to come to circuit, cd circuit, then nago compile. This will give us targets, and inside the target, we have what we want that we shall be using later. So you have this target and you have the circuit.json. So this .json will be very important as we do our web app. So we will use it later, and I'll explain how important it is as we progress. So you need to have it. Once you have it, you will now go back to the root directory. And so when we go back to the root directory, we do the rest. All the rest will be done from the root directory. The only thing that we are doing in the circuit is nago compile to get circuit.json. Once we have circuit.json, we go back to the root directory and do all the rest. Okay, you've seen how we've done that. We've done this a circuit, a Nago compile, and we got circuit.json. And I said this circuit.json will be very important for us because we will use it to import the front end. That's what we'll be using to import the front end. So you require it. Without it, we cannot progress. Now, so let's therefore proceed with the front end and see how it looks like. I'd already said we go back to the root directory. Once you're in the root directory, you copy this and just run it. Touch index.html, index.js. So this creates two folders. Creates HTML, index HTML, and then it creates index.js. So it creates those two, which then we will be using now going forward. Going forward, we'll be revisiting index HTML and index.js to insert content that we will then be requiring going forward. So once you do that, you are doing that in the root directory. So you just paste that code. Directory, and you should be able to see those two form. Now, once they are formed, let's now go to the index.html and paste this code inside this code here. This is that's just the example of what we want there. Of course, we can have more, but for us today, our main aim is just to create a web app and do proof generation and proof verification. And for only that, this content is enough in our index.html. This content is enough for that. So this is what you paste there. Okay. Now, so we have JS boilerplate. You copy this content and paste in the other folder. The other folder was index.js. Index.js. So that is where you're now pasting this one. The JS boilerplate. So this is the content. Again, you just take it and paste there. Now, you can just write, or even you go to my GitHub and get this content is there. You just copy and paste in yours so that you try yours and see that it works. Now we will come back and paste more things here. Of course, this space here, I've said Noir will be added here. So we'll be adding more content in this space. So what I've put is just what we are supposed to start with, but then we'll come back. So I've not put everything because I want to be explaining what every code does as we paste going forward. So I don't just put the whole of it there so that we can be able to know what it means. So up to now, this should be the structure of what you have. Up to now, you should be having the title, you should be having the circuit. Then you have SRS, main.nr, nagotomil, target when we did nago compile. Then we've just created this tool. Now, if you don't have this, just create it again. Just create just a new file. Just right click and create new file the way we've always done and call it package.json. I'll give you what to paste there later on. Now, so back to our JS, want to put these 3 lines to assist us import some important files I'll be using. The first one is to import the ultrahong backend from the Azotec bb.js. And the second one is to import Noir from NoirLang. And the third one is to import circuit from circuit/target/ circuit.json. So that is what I just explained. That's what they're doing. So let me just show you up to that point how your circuit should be looking like. Okay, I just want to share the code. Here it is. Our index.html. This is what we pasted there. This is what we pasted there. So if you don't get it, again, here it is. You can copy it and write it there. Okay, then when it comes to index.js, we had put some, not this, I've added many things, but I told you that we'll be adding as we explain. So of course I'm explaining. But what we've just done before I came to share was to add this to assist us import. The first line to import ultrahong backend. Then the second one to import Noir from the NoirLang, and the third one is to import circuit. So these are the ones we just added now. And this one was there. This one was there up to here. And then from there, we came to logs down here. Show logs. And then I told you that we'll be adding, so what we'll be adding are this, but I'll be adding them bits by bits. I told that inside, oh no, from here. From here, it was not there. So we'll be adding these bits to bits up to here, as I explain what each one of it does. I've already explained what what we just added does, these three. So when we add any other, I'll again tell you what it does. Now, so let's add these two lines where just inside index.js, this const Noir and this const backend. And these ones are supposed to set up Noir and proof backend for execution. That's what they'll be doing, just to set up Noir and also to assist in proof backend for execution. So without these two, then these functions will not be done. So that's what it means, therefore, after adding these three lines, and given that we had this up to here, so we've added this. So up to this point, this is how what you have should look like. This is how it should look like after adding the import, 3 lines for import, and these other 2 lines. And adding that to what we had initially, then this is how it's supposed to look like. Okay, for us to run and prove, we need to add again a few other lines. We shall add this, all this, to assist us run and prove. So constant age, show logs, all this we shall going to add just below the 2 lines we've added. We've already added some 2 lines there. So below that, going to paste all this. What this will be doing, you can see constant age. That means it's taking an input, and this input is age. So it takes that input and then it runs the circuit and it builds the proof. So you can see it said generate witness, show logs, generated witness, show logs, generating proof, constant proof, const proof, await backend, generate proof, show logs, generate proof, generated proof, and show results, generate or show results of the proof. So that is what this will be doing. They are very much about proof generation. So that's what they'll be doing. There's nothing like verification here. This is just about proof generation. It begins from all the way from the time you input that value for age. It begins from that time. That's why it begins with const age. So it begins from the time you input that age to the time the proof is generated for that very value you entered. And then the proof has to be shown, show results, proof. So that is what this does. So we then add this, we just copy and paste below the other 2 lines we added. So again, this is just explanation of what those lines are going to do. First, input is captured from HTML form. Then witness is generated by Noir. Then proof is constructed by Barretenberg. Then the output is displayed in UI. So that is what those lines will be doing. And as I said, when we paste any lines, I tell you first of all what they do, so that as you paste them, you know what it will be doing. Otherwise, we will just have put all of them at once, but that will not have assisted. So remember we had already added this. We had already added this too. So we began from constant age, and we've added this show log generate witness. We've added constant witness, added generate witness, added generate proof, constant proof await, then proof generated, then we ended at this point. Those are the lines we've added. And we've said what they're doing. Of course, from what you see, again, it's obvious. One is asking for the input of age. The other one is generating a witness. And we'll be seeing all this. We'll be seeing all this when we go to our website. We'll be seeing it ask for the age. We'll be seeing it generate witness. We'll be seeing it generate proof. We'll be seeing it display the proof. So all this we'll be seeing them on the website in our browser when we go there. So this is just showing you what you get after inserting these lines. I'm just showing you in a PDF form that then your project should now look like this after inserting those lines up to generated proof, show generated proof, show results of the proof. This is how it's supposed to look like. Okay, so after that, we are almost done. We want to create another file, config.js, and to create it, you run this command in your terminal, touch byte.config.js. Okay. Then after you've run that, you paste this link, not the link, this command inside. Paste this command inside, export default, optimize the dips, and so on. This is what you then paste inside that. Then after you've done that, we go back to our index.js and insert the last command for verification of the proof. Of course, where we've reached to, we can just generate a proof, but we cannot verify. For us to be able to verify, then we must add this command. Must add this command for us to be able to verify. Show logs, verifying proof. Const is invalid, await backend, verify proof. Show logs, proof is invalid or valid. So this one is just placing it after the command for proof generation. So we did the command for proof generation. Then just after that, inside that index.js, where we've been inserting our commands. After the command for proof generation, we now put a command for proof verification. Now, what this do is that they let the user to confirm the correctness inside the app, just to ensure that whatever is inside the app is correct. You need to verify it. So this is what it does. Yeah, so this is how we had reached. You can see the highlighted one. This is what we highlighted when you were, then now you come and now insert for verification, beginning from here up to here. Only these lines are used for verifying the proof. Show logs, verifying proof. Const is invalid. No, is valid. Await backend, show logs, and so on. So that now your final index.js is this, should look like this. I'm not saying that we cannot add anything. There are several things you can want to add depending on what you want to perform and so on. But for us, we just want to generate a proof and verify that proof in our browser. And so what we have is enough for that. Okay, so so far we've looked at the circuits, and inside the circuit you have the SRS. Inside the SRS, I'm just reminding you we had main.nr, and just a simple circuit for proving that somebody is 18 years or above without revealing the exact age, without revealing his exact age. So the verifier is not able to see the exact age. Just going to see that the prover is 18 or above. Now, so inside this circuit, we did generate, did Nago compile, and we got circuit.json, and we said we'll be moving with it to assist us in the front end. Now, after that, we came and created these two, index.html and index.js. Inside index.html, we were able to just insert or paste this circuit, this command at once. We were not adding anything, just paste this one at once, but it was inside this index.js that we were adding step by step, just to assist us explain whatever we were pasting was to be used for. Now, we had created this package.json at some point, and I said, I'll give you what to paste in that. And so here it is. Of course, like this one, you don't need to paste them. This one, they'll just be created by the time you run, you install, the time you install the NoirBB. The time you install this one, they just come in. They come in automatically. Even this README, you can just say, README is just talking about this generally what we are doing, what the circuit does, and how it's done, and so on. Now, it's this byte.js config.js that we just created before we did paste our code for proof verification. So we created this and we pasted in these few lines. Yarn log, this one is just comes as a result of installing Yarn. This one has no problem. So basically, this is what we have. And this is supposed to be enough for our web app that we were intended to create. So this is very much enough for that. Of course, there are many things we can do to improve it. Now, so once you've pasted what we did for verification, then the combined circuit, just for completeness, is supposed to be this way. For completeness of our notes, the combined script in the index.js supposed to be this. This is a very simple circuit. I think now seeing what is happening. This is what you add in package.json. And of course, I said some of this you don't need to copy and paste. They'll come as a result of installing what we said we were supposed to install. One of the things we said we were to install was NoirJS and Barretenberg package. And to install it, you were just to run yarn add at Aztec bb.js this, and we said we were to pin it to this because this is my example. I use this to create this example, and therefore I know this one will work. So once you install this in your terminal, your package.json is just updated with that Aztec bb.js 0.0, no, 0.840, so updated with this. So these dependencies come as a result of just installing this. So you don't need to memorize. That therefore means that if you are to install a different as bb.js, then again, this will be different. This will be different. Of course, the current version of Noah is not beta.6 is. So if you are to install the current, then it will not be this. So this is just the version we've installed. We have different versions that you may want to go for. Now, so you may just want to clear from if you are installing, if you are, for instance, cloning mine from the GitHub, you may want maybe to clear cache, the bit cache, and to clear that, you just use the command remove rf.yarn /cache.yarn. And then after uninstalling that, or after removing that, then you can install yarn. can install yarn. And after installing yarn, you want to install yarn add or the dev. You want to install the dev dependency. And for you to install the dev dependency, you would then use this command in the terminal. This command in the terminal installs the dev command. And it's this yarn dev that we will run. And once we run, it takes us, gives us a link that we can use to see our proof generation and verification. So this link on the web. So we will, for me, I've already installed this, I've already installed that. But for you, you can install them first of all. Then after you've installed, we now go back to yarn dev. And using yarn dev, we are able to get a link that we can use to see our proof generation and the proof verification. Now, so that yarn dev shall be run inside our root directory, not inside our circuits. So I've already written, or let me first of all just create, let me clear that. Okay, yarn dev. Press enter. Okay, for me, it has already run. And it has given me some link, HTTP hash, locust, and so on. So this is the link I'll use to go to my web. If you want more information, you can just write H and then enter. I'm reading this to get help. So let me see. So when you just write H and then enter, you get help, and you're given the shortcuts that when you press R and enter, it means restart the server. It means restart the server. If you press U and enter, it means show the server all. And for us, we already have it. If you press O and enter, it means open the browser. Of course, I think we can try that. And then we have C entered, clear, console. Q enter means quit. Let's try this O, enter. Oh, it's true. It's opening the browser. Okay, but let's open the browser together. I want us to open the browser together so that we move together. I've copied that link. Let me share. So I've copied that link. I want to paste it here. It was HTTP localhost 5175. When I press enter, this is what I get. Now up. Logs, proofs, you can see there's nothing here. But there's something, you can select your edge. You can select edge 0, 1, 2. So by just pressing these scrolls, you can either scroll up to increase your edge. Remember, our circuit was to test that somebody is above 18 and above. It was 18 and above. So let's try to test this 13. So just press submit. It says generating witness. Oh, so for this one, there's no proof. There's no proof because this person, now the verifier can see that this person is not 18 years and is not above. So you cannot lie. You put the correct age and the verifier is able to see that. You see, you've not revealed your age, but the verifier is able to see that this person is not 18 years, is not yet 18 years. The verifier is able to see that. If you change it to 17, submit, you get a different log. So every log for every age has its own log and its own proof. So again, 17 is less than 18. So again, there's no proof. Okay, let's now make it 18 and see. Submit age. For this one, we got generating witness, generating proof, then verifying proof, and the proof is valid. And the proof itself is here. So the proof has been verified and found to be valid. So the verifier is able to see that the age that has been entered is 18 or above, but is not able to know what age it is. So this is the proof. Now, when you're writing a circuit, you can write such that the proof is maybe displayed in a good way, that you can see it arranged in a better way where you can see from the start to the end. From mine, I have to scroll. So this one I've not written properly, but my interest was to see that you can go to the website, we can go to browser and see how our web app will be functioning. So when you put 18 years, you can see there was generation of a witness. Then after that, there's generation of the proof. Then after that, the proof was verified. Then after verification, it was found to be valid. Then after that, the proof is displayed.